unfortunately, a lot of that video was cut. I was going for quite a while longer, to be honest. But unfortunately, it was cut off. So to continue where I was going with that, why was I painted as the bad one? Because I was always speaking up. Just like now, I'm speaking up. This video was well over an hour long, and it was probably even for another, probably went on for another 20 minutes, half hour. That's some really good stuff as well. Probably the best part of the video, but hey. There's so many things that are going on in this world. It's going so fast. And it's hard. You know, everything's changing so quickly. And you just expect it to get used to it. You know? And you're just supposed to just condition yourself that this is this way, and technology's moving so fast, and you know. And that's why I get so angry, because I don't want this to happen to you. I really don't want this to happen to you or your family or anyone. You know, because I really do sit here night after night thinking, how can I help humanity? How can I stop this? What can I do? And people can go, oh, get a life, mate. But you got to realise that there is nothing after this. If they do what they're planning to do, there is no coming back. I don't want that for humanity. I don't want that for humanity. And I told you my worst fears. If it wasn't in the bit that was cut off. So I'll say it again just to make sure it was in there. You know, I'm fearless. I don't have any fears. I don't fear death. My own death. I don't fear nothing. Except not doing anything to stop these arseholes. To not stop them doing what they're doing. And all of us to be killed off, and they could just abuse children whenever they like. They're my fears. You know, this stuff is right under your nose. This is why I'm urging you to research it. You know, look up Agenda 21. Look up Bilderberg. Look up David Rockefeller. I mean, this guy's got so much control over your life and you don't even know it. All these arseholes that are unelected. This is what sickens me. They can get away with murder. Literally fucking murder. They abuse your children. And people are looking at, you know, the ones that are sitting there thinking, well, I'm weak, what can I do? You're not weak. You have all the power that we need, or that you need, and together as a collective, we have all the power that we need. We need to make a change. We all need to come together, unite against the system, peacefully, hopefully. And we need to do this right and say no more. But I can't do that for you. I can't, well, I suppose I could in theory, but I can't just drag every one of you through the door to stand on the battlefields. I know people say, oh, well, you know, you say you're not going towards violent, but you call it a battlefield. Right now, I class myself as on the battlefield. I'm talking to you for over an hour, and the part that unfortunately got cut off. But all of this time I'm giving into these videos, and I'm talking to you people. I'm giving my time up for what? For what? For what purpose? Because I've got nothing better to do? Man, I've got a million and one better things to do. Get my place back to how it should be. Because obviously, if you've watched the previous video, you see that I've had contractors and stuff in, and you know, getting that back up together. Continue with my music. You know, maybe starting a business, maybe getting married, having 50 odd kids, or no kids, or whatever. You know, enjoying life. But we can't enjoy life, not to the fullest, until we stop being controlled. Because the world we wasn't destined to be controlled by governments. There's so many things that people don't know. But it doesn't matter. We all need to come together and say no to this. I'm not saying it's going to happen today, tomorrow. Excuse me. I'm not saying it has to happen today, tomorrow, next week, next month. But it needs to happen soon. It needs to. We really need a change. We need a change. As I keep saying, it's not going to come from within a government. Government put this on us. The system is bad. We need to take the system out. We need to sack the system. We need a revolution. You know, we need to make a change. You know, even if you don't want to do it for yourself. If you've got kids, look into your children's eyes and tell me you don't want to change for them. Because if you're a good parent, you want to give your child the world. I might not be a parent, but I've dated a lot of women who've had children. I've dated a lot of women who've got kids. I'm not a father. Maybe I'll never be father material. I don't know. But I still did my best by them. And you know, you want to give them a life that you've never had. There's much misery and shit that's in this universe. You know, I'm 27, almost 28, like I said before. You know, I want to live to an age where I can at least see that we're free. And I don't mean believing we're free. I mean knowing we're free. Free to the point that you can go nuts and just walk around butt naked if you so wish. Not my cup of tea, but you get my point. Free to do or say as you please within reason. Not being controlled to pay the bills. Not being forced to go to work. You know, a chance to live. A chance to, you know, if you're anything like me, explore the world. You know, see all these different parts of the world. Be a part of that world. Not be controlled by governments. Not being controlled, oh, I need to get a visa if I want to go to Australia, America. Not being controlled by money. Because we all know, we're all feeling the pinch right now, all of us. Myself included. Things are not easy. They ain't easy for none of us. I can assure you of that. But I don't want this for you. I don't want it for me. I don't want it for anyone. All I really want is for everyone to be free. You know, people paint me as such an angry character. I'm angry and I'm frustrated at the way that people just don't see what's going on right in front of them. You know, we tell people to research, and I urge people to research, and I'm urging you to research. But the facts are, we don't need to research. It's there. The little bits of truth on the mainstream media. It's right there. In front of you. You can just reach out and grab. You know, I'm not just going to forcibly drag you out of the door and drag you to it. I can show you the door. But you've got to walk through it. You've got to just see the truth for yourself. You know? It's a bit like, you know, that film. Watch the film, They Live. Or if you've watched it, comment it. Comment it down and tell me the similarities to this life. I think that was made in 1972, 73. I don't know, comment below and tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, it is like 25 to 4 in the morning. But this is what, in a way, we're living. This is what we're living in. You know, I can't make the glasses. You know, let's put these glasses on. There you go. Now you can see. I can see the truth now. These are my truth vision. It's something that you have to go through. Something you have to go through until you see it. But if your ignorance holds you back, then you can't see it. You can't. You just won't allow yourself. You know, optimists like me, I used the example earlier. Trying to get through the door. You've barricaded it. You've cemented it up. You've buried the fucking door. And the optimist goes, "I'll look for the window." What window? You've blocked it all up. You're just living in the darkness and you don't want to step out to the light. And it's frustrating for people like me that are awake to get this, and we get called cranks, kooks, weirdos, conspiracy theorists and all of this crap. You know, oh, we've got nothing better to do. I've got loads of things better to do. And I can't do it unless people wake up. You can't do it. Because the next generation isn't promised. You know, when your children grow up, if they're given that chance. Because this isn't going to get better. You can't just go, right, here's the sand, boom. You know, I'll bury my head in the sand and it's all going to get better. Ignoring it is not going to make it go away. When you have cancer, well, sorry, let me rephrase, if you had cancer, if you don't do something, it's going to kill you. Cancer's a weapon used by them. It's mass genocide, man. It's mass genocide. If people don't know what mass genocide is death by government. Obviously mass you can work out. You know, please just research. Look up Agenda 21, David Rockefeller, Bilderberg. I've said it before, but I don't know if it was cut off, you know, in that bit that I was sort of going on for. But please, just research. You've got 5 minutes. And don't just go to a video and go, haha, yeah, conspiracy. Listen to what they're saying. There is a lot of misinformation out there. But the truth, as they say in X-Files, is out there. You know, there's a lot of people that are a bit nuts. Or maybe they've just got an agenda. You know, like the David Ikes of all reptilians. I still listen to that stuff. Because it's foolish not to listen to the stuff. You can think, that's a bit far-fetched. Nah, no way. But I'd still look at it. I'd look at the proof. Nah, that's not enough proof. Because no one's saying you have to believe what I'm saying. I don't want you to believe what I'm saying. Yeah, I'll put some proof out there. Yeah, I explain everything to you. You know, hopefully I explain it well enough for you to understand. Hopefully, you know, and I put a bit of proof out there to highlight what's going on in the world and what it's all about. You know, I take my time to think about things. You know, what proof can I show these YouTubers? What can I do? What can I say? How can I say it? You know, like I said earlier, I wish I had that lever. I could just pull it. And everyone just whoosh, opens up. Right, we're awake. Let's get a change. You know, we need to get a change in the world. We need a change in the world. Because we don't get a change, mum, we ain't going to get a chance. And I mean that. We ain't going to get a chance to live. Well, certainly not in a good world. Not in a reality that we want to live anyway. And the facts are, most of us are good people. You know, like me, I'm a good person. Yeah, I'm a bad boy with a very good side. You know, I'm taking my time to do something that I believe in, to help people. People who know me, you know, offline, real life, whatever you want to call it. They'll tell you. Because I'm about people. And then I get annoyed when people, you know, I help people and then they just shit on me. You know, I'm not going, oh, let's play the world's smallest violin. You know, we're all struggling. We're all feeling the pinch. We're all feeling shit on. You know? And even if you're not awake, you can't tell me you don't feel betrayed by your own government. Because I know I do. And they've got there because of people's ignorance. They've got to the position they have, the money. They've used us. They've taken our tax money. And then you've got to ask yourself, well, we're probably paying more tax now than ever before. And it's true. We're paying more tax now than we've ever done before. What are we getting for our money, yeah? What are we getting for our money? Are the roads better than they've ever been? No. Is the healthcare the best that it's ever been? No. Are we eradicating cancer? No. What are we getting? Greedy MPs. What is it? £100 fucking Ian Duncan Smith. I think it was Ian Duncan Smith. He gets his wet wipe allowance, yeah? To wipe his fucking smelly arse. That's it. £100. You know, people on benefits, people always going about, oh, the people on the benefits, they're scum. Well, I'll tell you what's really scum. People like the Queen. They sit there making all these laws up, you need to pay more taxes. I don't know, I can't even remember what the Queen's worth. I mean, as I say, it's getting late. But hold on. Do you see her putting her hand in her pocket with all that money? She lives in a fucking palace, for fuck's sake. You know, what has the Queen ever done for you? When you were broke, hungry, starving, homeless. You know what I mean? Did she come, hello, sir? I see you're having some problems. Why don't you come and sleep in my Buckingham Palace? There's plenty of room and there's plenty of food. Did she ever do that? Nah. I don't think so. And then people paint her as, oh, she's the symbol of England. And you might say, well, the underground could be a symbol of England. You know, London. Yeah, you know, sign of England maybe. But it's people that make up a country. And we're not even a country anymore. I've said it earlier. We're a corporation. Run by the laws of business. Corporate law, man. Bylaws, all of that shit. You know, all these greedy MPs. They're getting money. And they go, oh no. You know, they're fucking, you know, the average person on JSA is getting what? 60, 70 quid or whatever it is to live on, when they're getting something like, what was it, £150 or whatever it is a week for groceries, food, whatever word you want to use, free healthcare, free you name it. What? Because they work within government. And people don't look at them and go, well, that's scummy. I mean, you look at HSBC, it's been announced. They're laughing in your face. Oh, we only pay 0.1% tax. Woo. Who's donkeying the bill? You, the taxpayers. And then the taxpayers say, well, you're scum. I pay tax, so I'm law abiding. You just don't understand, do you? You can't keep feeding the machine that's killing us, enslaving us. You can't. Having to make a change is having to make a change. Step out of darkness into the light. Yeah, it's scary. People don't understand. Oh, well, you know, I can't do anything. Every human being matters. And every human being's got strength and powers they don't even realise. You know, I've done that video. Hopefully it's going to inspire people. Yeah, it's a small issue, but I kept battling. If we all pulled together and battled for a better world, we would have it. We could have it. We well and truly could have it. We could be free. Not just saying we're free, but actually being free. Taking trips around the world. You know? Me and a girl that you love that's not under the control of mind control, and I've got to have 50 million pairs of shoes, and if you don't buy me the right ring, then the wedding is off. We could do so much, man. Humanity has got the power to do anything. The human spirit. What have they got? Money and soldiers. Yeah, they got millions of foreign soldiers. But the more we do nothing, the worse it gets. We can bury our head in the sand and pretend it's all going to be over. Everything's going to be fine. It's like you say, if you got cancer, can you just do it then? Just ignore it and it will go away? Because we can't just ignore it. It's not just going to go away. It's going to be there when we wake up. It's going to be there when we go to sleep. It's going to be in our children's generation. You know? I mean, right now, I'm talking to a possibility. I mean, millions of people potentially could hear this, or one. You know, my efforts could just go, you know, unrewarded, and I don't mean rewarded with money. I mean, no one might potentially never even listen to what I'm saying. They certainly might not get to this far in the video, going, oh, this guy's going on and on for about an hour. Maybe I'll break this up and put this into another YouTube video as well. Maybe I will. But the facts are, no matter how many times we try and knock on the door, people are locking that door, barricading the door. I hate having to tell people, don't feed your children sweets and chocolates. It's got all these chemicals in and it's doing this to their little bodies. I hate having to tell people you shouldn't do that because of this and this. I hate having to be the person to educate people about things and everything they've lived in life has been a lie. Telling them that their own government is abusing children, putting us into more wars, sending our young men out there to go and die for a banker's war. It ain't even real. And people just go, don't want to listen, mate, I ain't got time. And I remember, because I used to tell people on the street, I used to draw in a bit of a crowd. And I'd just talk to people on the street. I'll ask them what they know about David Rockefeller, Agenda 21, what the government's doing. You know, and I mention about the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and some go, oh, I've heard of the Illuminati. And I says, oh, what have you heard then? Oh, well, they're trying to take over the music industry, aren't they? I'm like, they're trying to take over the world, bruv. He's like, oh, well, yeah, I've heard of them ones as well. And I says, what have you heard? And he told me a little bit about Agenda 21. He didn't know it was classed as Agenda 21. You know, we had a good little, put my teeth back in. We had a good bit of dialogue for, a good 20 minutes, half an hour. And the conversation closed because he kept saying to me, well, what are you doing about it? Well, obviously I'm talking to yourself. You know, I'm making music, I'm making videos, and well, at the time I wasn't actually making videos, but, I was going on radio shows, doing things, talking about the things where I could actually get in there to say something. You know? wasn't very often now, because obviously a lot of things are controlled and people didn't want to hear it. But then I asked him, well, what are you going to do about it, the little bits that you know? Nothing, mate. I've got a job to do. It would totally tarnish my career. It wouldn't allow me to do nothing. I wouldn't be able to do it. They'd sack me on the spot. So I said, your job's more important than being free. And he says, well, I am free. He says, look, I think you're doing a good job, mate, but yeah, I've got to go. Keep doing what you're doing, but I'm not going to do anything. We can only carry people so far. We can only do it so far, and so many people at one time. So many people and for so long. This year, or maybe next year, but I believe it's going to be this year, it's all just going to really go through the roof. And I keep telling people it'll be fine, because all these people have heard, and when it happens, we'll have unlimited credibility, which is true. We do have unlimited credibility, because, you know, we're always credited. The truth movement, the truth movement said it again. The truth movement said it again. We're not wrong. You know, and I'm hoping with everything I've got that day people are just gonna wake up. Because every day I've got to live with that on my conscience, and people go, well, why do you live with that on your conscience? Because trillions of people are gonna die. Trillions. They're gonna be executed. They're gonna be killed by whatever means. And that's what inspires me to do this. Well, not inspires. That's what forces me to do this. It's what makes me want to do it. Because I don't want that to happen to anyone. Most of us are good people. Most of us are. And we've had a shit life. Some people have had it better, some people have had worse, but we've all had a shit life. Not the best upbringing, not the best chances in life. Something's always held us back. You know, we never had a childhood or a decent one. Never really had a chance to be young, wild, reckless, free, whatever. Never had a chance to fall in love. You know, always been too busy with whatever to do whatever. This can all change. This can all change. I mean, people believe that life is walk on the path, follow fashion, pay your taxes, now tell me you're free. I'm free. You know, work until you're 50, 60, 70, whatever the new retirement age is, until you can't work anymore. Or even if you can. Even if you can still move about and all that, and you're not fucking seriously ill or dying. You just sit in front of a TV till your legs all seize up and you can't walk. So I know a couple of carpet fitters, and they took me out on a job once in this old people's home. And I remember this guy's door was open. Because I remember I was just doing a bit by his door. And I just sat there just looking at the guy. Must be 70, 80, something like that. 70 or 80 years old. Maybe more, maybe less. He could hardly walk. Could hardly talk. He was just fixated on this screen. And he was just eating these sweets that are probably made him ill with all the chemicals in. Probably got Alzheimer's, whatever you want to say. And he's just sitting there, eating these sweets and watching the TV. He's ill. He's possibly even dying. He's probably got loads of illnesses. He's in an old people's home. He's probably got no family or no one that wants to look after him. And it's sad. All of these things that happen when you get older. And people say, oh, we're living older these days. You look in China. People are used to, or maybe still are, living to 180 and 200 years old. And people are dying at 40 and 50. That's middle age. Well, in some terms, maybe not in China. And there's just people, not even as old as himself, which is still young, if you compare it to people in China. And you see people of my age, younger than me, just sitting there playing games all the time, watching TV, and the whole life's just been made and planned, and it's just being mapped out in front of them, and they've got no control, and they can't see it. They think that they're the one in control. They're playing the computer games. They're watching the films. They keep eating the same fucking foods. It's a sad way to live, man. It's sad, and this government has got so much power. And people don't even know that what the TV is. It's a weapon of mass distraction. It's just so ridiculous at times. It just really is. And this isn't the life I want for people. And yeah, fine, if people want to do it, I've got no power to say you shouldn't do it. But this isn't a life. We're only alive to pay taxes, to do the government's bidding. And that ain't the way to live your life. It's just not. There's more to life. And anyone out there who's awake, you know, they've been watching the videos, they know, and they're sitting there going, well, what can I do? Make videos. Go and join things like Response. Start your own groups up. Start growing your own food. Stop paying taxes. Urge other people to do the same. You know, start your own protests, marches. Start your own website. Don't be fearful of the government. Yeah, they could arrest you. They could kill you. But you've got to look at life. If we don't stop this, there is going to be nothing after this. We are literally fighting for our lives out here. Because what's the alternative? Carry on eating these foods that have got the poisons in, the aspartames, I keep drinking fucking fluoride. What is the alternative? This is what I can't understand with people. They go, well, I'm too scared. No, I'm not saying don't be scared. But isn't it more scary to do nothing? And let that fear control you? Because that's how the government are winning. They control us through fear. They tell us, oh, ISIS are going to kill us. And if we don't go and invade their country, and that's, they go into these other people's countries and shit. And then people say they're doing it in the name of freedom. How is invading someone else's country protecting your freedom and your sovereignty? I don't understand. Because you send your army into a foreign country, your country is invading their country. You're not fighting for your freedom. You're sending your army in there to kill innocent people. And some of these are 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds. Some of them are 17. They're not even old enough to drink. Not that I'm saying drink's the be all and end all, but they're not even old enough to drink, not old enough to vote. You know, they're not old enough to legally get married without, you know, the parents' consent. But they're old enough to go out there and die. You know, these kids, they're just fucking kids. It's just a pandemic. Don't matter if they're in the hood or not. So when I go back home, I saw these little 13-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds doing things that they shouldn't be doing. They've got guns. And every time one of them youngsters, whether they're 12, 13, 15, 18, 21, 25, whatever, they get killed. Most of it's for no good reason, like a postcode war. You know, all of this death and killing is not really the answer. Yeah, we all get angry, you know. And sometimes maybe there's an exception. Maybe someone rapes your daughter, fucking abused her, then you want to kill the cunt. Well, okay. Justifiable. You know, there's certain things that you can say, well, there's a reason for that. But these little 13-year-olds and 15-year-olds and 18-year-olds killing each other for what? Because they're on their patch, or because of the postcode. Well, you're not from around this block, blood. Yeah, everyone can put a reason to it. I'm not exactly a stranger to the postcode war. I know all about it, but the facts are, it's for nothing. And the governments of the world know the two things that lower crime and that would stop this is legalizing guns. Guns, legalize guns. That's number one. And you go, but guns are bad. You put more guns on the street, more people are going to kill each other. Maybe initially, because when something gets legalized, there's the big hype and everyone's got to have a gun or whatever. If weed gets it, you know, weed gets legalized, most people are going to jump on it, whether they smoke it or not, because it's a new buzz. But history and even present day time has proven guns being legal isn't doing any real harm. Look at these amnesties people put their guns and their knives in. It's the decent people that are doing it, it's not the criminals. And if every law-abiding citizen, or every decent person who's mature enough to handle a firearm or a weapon of any description had access to them, do you really think that the people who think, oh, if we have guns we're going to be killing each other, do you think you're likely, if you had a gun, to kill someone? For no reason? No, of course you ain't. Guns are the last line against tyranny, whatever you want to say. Against a tyrannical government, to protect yourself from a vicious police force. Do you think people are going to break in your house as much or try and rob you when every person has the access to a gun? Crime will just dissipate. In high gun areas in America, there's virtually no crime. They tell you on the news, oh, crime's going up, gun crime. Well, that's what Hitler and Stalin done. They played the same thing. They took the guns and all the evil started. And that's what they're trying to do in America right now. And it didn't work. So now they're trying to forcibly take it from you. And the other thing you can do is you legalize drugs. And you're thinking, oh, shit, he said legalize drugs. Yeah, damn right I said legalize drugs. Because what business is it of yours whether someone does drugs? What business is it? If drugs were more legal and they were sold at a decent price, people could get hold of it without crime. It'd just be, same way they do with cigarettes, obviously without the taxation. I mean, people buy cigarettes and that kills more people than all the drugs probably combined. I'm not necessarily talking about in accidents, but if you look it up, cigarettes kill hundreds of thousands a year Same with alcohol, but they're legal. Why are they illegal and they do a lot more damage than the average drugs? I mean, I know students who sit there. I mean, people go, weed's a drug. Well, technically it's more of a herb. Let's just get that straight. There's a lot of medical and medicinal benefits from marijuana, weed, hemp. We can end deforestation like that if we legalise weed. But the governments know this. And you think, I know students that just sit there just smoking weed, they ain't causing no harm at all to nobody. They're just sitting there, you know, smoking a bit of weed, playing with their dog, and yet they're in prison. Or they can end up in prison. What, for smoking a bit of weed and playing with their dog? You know, having a little play fight with your dog, stroking your dog, you know, playing chase with your dog when you're stoned, or whatever you do when you're stoned. But why are all these people in jail? For doing drugs or selling, well, weed. Smoking weed or selling weed. Because prison is a privatised business. And it's a money-making industry that's worth a lot of this. Because they only get that money, or certainly the top whack, if all them prison cells are all occupied. So there's some facts in the world that people need to wake up and see. Like, the guy smoking weed, you know, next door to you, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a threat because he's smoking weed. Alright, if you live in a block, sometimes you got to put out with the smell because it can linger. But is that the worst thing you got to complain about? When the guy on the other side is a total fucking... is a hoarder. Can't even get in his place. He's got rubbish everywhere. That stinks. You know, he's got, like, you know, 10 years ago he was married with with a fucking child. You know what I mean? And he never took the rubbish out, and he got shitty nappies next door. You know what I mean? As an example. You know what I mean? Alright, some people don't like the smell of weed, but what is the big fucking deal? You know, some people go out on the weekend and they do a bit of drugs. Obviously, it's not a lot of people. Well, there's a lot of people that do it, but there's a lot of people that also go, well, you know, they shouldn't be doing that. Well, why? It's their body, it's their choice. You know, it's like a lot of people talk about prostitutes, they're fucking whores, and ooh, stay away. Well, I'm not advocating the need to do that. But where do people get off slagging off someone? Sorry, bad choice of words. Putting someone down, judging them because they sell their body. Well, isn't it their body in the first place? That's the only thing that we can ever really own. And if they choose to sell it, I'm not saying it's the best thing to do. I'm not exactly one, oh look, you know, let's all go and, you know, fuck prostitutes. I'm not saying that. But it's her body, and if she wants to sell it to the highest bidder, what's it got to do with you or me? Why are we judging people for, you know, a lot of them prostitutes, and when they're having hard times, you get me? They're having hard fucking times. They can't afford to feed their children. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a woman who can't afford to pay her kids, so she just sees that as her only option. Sometimes you have to look at the intent. People often look at someone's actions and go, oh, terrible, that's despicable. Well, why is it? Why is it? Are you fucking her? No. You know, are you the one that she's going to be buying the drugs off? Because unfortunately that, you know, in that thing they have a lot of drugs. Forced upon them mostly. You know, sometimes they take it to blank out what they got to do. Isn't that woman suffering enough? It's the same as people that take drugs. Some people do it because, you know, it's an escape thing. Some people do it because of habit. Would you judge someone for being in a wheelchair and some drugs that they were taking? I'm not talking about the pharmaceutical drugs, but, you know, smoking weed or something. Oh, they shouldn't do it there. I mean, they were in fucking pain and shit. Are you gonna begrudge them a painkiller that's actually healthy for their body? Because if you don't know the marijuana and the medicinal benefits, you're just listening to government propaganda. The government use it. They smoke weed. God, did you look at all them MPs? They look fucking stoned. They're falling asleep all over the fucking place. And then they have the fucking cheek to go, well, no one should be sleeping and being lazy and expecting the government to pay for them. Who the hell's paying for them? They dictate and they make all these fucking laws up. Who's paying their pockets? Where are they getting their money from? Taxpayers. So how can they control what the taxpayers do? And then one hand say you shouldn't be doing this when they're doing just the same and worse. You know, people judge without knowing the reason. They always judge. I mean, me. Oh, look, he's a chav. Yeah, he's trouble. Or, yeah, this guy's a chav, yeah. He's dumb. Now, I'm not saying I'm fucking Albert Einstein or nothing. But I'm not exactly retarded and dumb, you know, dumb as fuck, because I ain't. You know what I mean? I've got things that, you know, that are not brilliant about me. I could be better at drawing or maths or something, but I can get by. You know, some of the mathematical equations I've had to do in the past, the average person would be like, huh, what? You know, people judge for the wrong reasons. Now, if you wanna judge Ian Duncan Smith for being a fucking money grabbing bitch who wants to dictate and control people and thinking that people on the sick shouldn't be entitled to money, when that prick's getting paid by the taxpayers' money, he's getting benefits. The motherfucker is a benefit. You gotta look. You know, people judge and we're all hating each other for what? You know, because of race. Oh, he's black. Oh shit, he's white. The real enemy is the enemy that we share. We've all got this mutual enemy, and it's called the government. The local drug dealer, 9 times out of 10, isn't bothering you. The local prostitute, is she bothering you? Now, I'm not saying that you should have to put up with these things. But at the end of the day, if you want that to change, you have to make a change. And what I mean by that is getting drugs legalised. Okay, you don't agree with drugs. Well, evidently you don't if you share that opinion. Okay, you don't agree with drugs. Okay. But legalising them, getting them done in a place that lowers crime, is sold for a decent price. What's your problem? Who can do drugs at home? You know, there's bigger things out there to worry about. What the elite are doing, the fucking sexual abuse with the fucking children. You know, the fucking government dragging us into fucking World War III, the financial collapse that's going to be coming at some point. Stop looking at what the government tell you and research. That's how they get away with it. People go, well, how can the government get away with it? You signed it's unlawful because people don't fact check. They watch the mainstream news and they take it as gospel. They take it as gospel all the time. Excuse me. They take it as gospel every time. Every second. But then someone like me brings something new to the table. And goes, right, here's something new to the table. Boom, take it. Oh, I don't want it. Throw it back at me. And you're playing this back and forth game. I'm bringing you something that's real hardcore knowledge, and it's going to change your life. Understanding what your government's doing, so I say to them, look, the government's doing this, it's unlawful. You can then go, boom, throw it back in my face. Or you can go, okay, let's have a look what you've got. You know, consider that a microphone. Right, what have you got for me? Da-da-da-da-da. Because there's a reason I'm telling you. I'm not just telling you because, oh, I know something you don't. No, I'm telling you because I'm trying to help you. But you've got to be able to help yourself. Because if you can't help yourself, you're fucked. And it's not your fault you can't help yourself. Not being able to help yourself is not 100% your fault. But the facts are, we can make this change today, tomorrow, next week. It doesn't have to be today, tomorrow. But when people start listening and taking this stuff seriously, and they are, people are waking up. Whether they're doing enough about it, well, evidently not, because the system's still in place. You know? I mean, I went to the BBC protest and I was emceeing all the way through the centre of London. I was on the megaphone telling them that they're fucking paedophiles. You know, even when we was outside the fucking BBC headquarters, so this is how funny it is. And people did start to notice, because we were telling them it was illegal. You don't. There's nothing legally binding or lawfully binding to say you have to pay your TV licence. It was fine. Then we started telling the world that the BBC are paedophiles. All of a sudden, they're getting in their choppers and they fly away. Only the guilty that run. It's only the guilty that run. I mean, at the end of the day, if someone accused you of doing that, and you know full well you ain't going to do it, you ain't going to back down, are you? My point exactly. So, you got to look at all different things from all different angles, people. Honestly, just look, and look again. Because, you know, it sounds too good to be true what I'm saying. Maybe. But I'm giving you a chance to research. I'm not selling you nothing. I'm not going, yeah, you give me £5,000 and I'm going to fucking build you a mansion that's going to have like a fucking thrown in with a free Ferrari and a fucking lap dancer as one girlfriend and a fucking, you know, whatever. A celebrity is your other girlfriend. It's something that is maintainable for people. We can easily do it. Stop funding the machine. Stop funding these arseholes. Stop allowing them to get away with it. And when they do wrong, call them out on it. I'm always calling people out. You know, people go, oh, you're saying I'm bad. Yeah, because you just fucking, you know, you acted in a certain way that I didn't like. Call them out. Hold them to account. So when the government fucking put us into an illegal war, call them out on it. Tell the world and call them out on it. Hold the motherfuckers to ransom. If they abuse children, you call them out and you hold them to account. Because by sitting there putting your head down, by staying calm, isn't really the answer. You need to get angry. You should be getting angry. And I'm not saying get angry to the point that you're killing them, as much as they don't deserve anything less, but in my opinion. But hold them to account. Someone come up to you when you're in a pub or something, didn't know him from Adam. Boom, the motherfucker hits you. Are you gonna stand there and take it, or are you gonna stand up and fight him back? Or even if you can't fight back, you're still gonna hold him to account. If people go, you got beat up, you're gonna tell your side. Well, he's a bully, like, you know, I can't defend myself. You know, he done this and he shouldn't have done it. Hold these motherfuckers to account. You know, if you was put on some medicine and it took years off your life, hold the motherfuckers to account. Yeah, take them to court, get your money, whatever you want to do, but hold them to account. Get it noted. Make a video. Make a website. Tell the world. Tell them what's going on and hold them to account. Yeah, the newspaper's all controlled by them. The news is. But there's other news channels out there. Come to me. Shit, if you got a problem and you want something exposing, you know what I mean? I'll do what I can. We've got to hold these motherfuckers to account. Because every crime they do against humanity, and we sit there and go, didn't see it. Nope, didn't hear it. Nope, can't speak about it. Can't speak about it. We're allowing that to happen. I'm hoping that's getting through to you. I really am hoping that's getting through to you. Because together we can make a change. Together we can. It's all about education. You know, it's so much more than holding up these stupid signs, the pyramid, the six, all this shit. There's so much more. So much more going on. It's so much. I mean, people tell me, you know, like this stupid girl, oh, V2K. And if people don't know what that is, it's voice to skull. It's just another way of direct mind control. But the point is, people just focus on one aspect of it. We got to look at this as a whole picture. Who's done it? Who put this in place? They all need to be held to account in a court of law, at least. You know what I mean? Whatever else you want to happen to these motherfuckers, we need to hold them to account for the crimes that they do against humanity, against you, against me, against your children, against your mum, against everyone in your family. Just please research. Set yourself free. Don't be contained by their lies. You know, the bigger the lie, the more people fall for it. Hitler said the same thing. Something along the lines anyway. As I say, it's getting late. It's like 4:20 in the morning. But hold them to account. If you see something, say something. Scream it out. Even if no motherfucker wants to hear you, I'll listen to you. You know? You got something you want to address with me, then address it. If you say, look, Woodstar, I got a problem. How do I do it? Yeah, I can try it. Even if I don't know the answer, I can put you in touch with someone who may know the answer. You know? But we can't do this by ourselves. We're all struggling, we're all falling for it, we're all in the same thing. We're all in this together. So please, I urge you to research and hold them to account. Protect the children. Even if it's not your child, hold them to account. Because it could be your child. Even if you ain't got kids today, next week, you could have a girl pregnant. Is this the world you want to bring your children up in? Where nonsense get a free run? Where people either don't care or just like, oh, I've got my own, I can't see, no, bye. Well, there's not enough people doing that. That's not the world for a child to be brought into. So please, YouTube, listen to me, take on board what I've said, research. I'm giving you the keys to a better life here. It might not be the keys to a Ferrari, but that Ferrari eventually is going to break down. You're going to need the money to put into it to repair it. Or you're going to need to spend, you need to spend all that time polishing it to make it look good. I'm giving you the keys to something that's sustainable and a future. A future that I want you a part of just as much as me. I want a future. You want a future. Your kids want a future. My kids might want a future. It's a 2-hour rant, man. I'm exhausted. Mentally, physically. Just take it on board, please, YouTube. Oh, for fuck's sake, just sort it out. Please, just research and educate yourself. What's the route? Peace.